I'm Scotty Smith, and this is USL Quick Strike. Things are looking up for Nashville SC, despite their loss to Charlotte over the weekend. They now have a fairly strong hold on the 8th spot in the East, and 2 games in hand over 9th place Ottawa Fury. That's the good news. The bad news is, if USL Cup started today, they'd have to travel to a very in-form FC Cincinnati. FCC bought Fernando Adi to score goals, and that's exactly what he did on the weekend. His 88th minute winner over third-place Pittsburgh locked up a spot in USL Cup, and it looks for all the world that they will be the number 1 seed in the East. They're now 13 points clear over Louisville City, who lost to Toronto Reserves at home, then followed up that performance with a draw against Charleston. Earning 1 point from 6 is not a recipe for catching up to your rivals. But let's face it, it's USL. There's a tournament at the end. All you have to do is qualify, then anything can happen. Still, it is mathematically possible for Louisville to gain the top spot. But they need to start this weekend when they take on FC Cincinnati on Saturday night. That's our first of 3 must-see matches this weekend. First kick is at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central. Sure, most Memphians would rather sit in the middle of a fire pit than watch Louisville take on Cincinnati in anything, but this is not CUSA basketball circa 2001. If you're going to learn about USL, it starts with these 2, at least for this year. So, the East looks like this. Cincinnati, Louisville, they're playing each other this weekend, Pittsburgh, Charleston, Bethlehem, Indy, Red Bull Reserves, and Nashville. On the outside looking in, you have Ottawa, North Carolina, Penn, Charlotte, Tampa, Richmond, Atlanta Reserves, and Toronto Reserves. In the West, Salt Lake Reserves, Orange County, and Phoenix Rising have all reached the 50-point threshold. Salt Lake has lost 2 straight, and that has opened the door for the top seed. Phoenix has won 3 straight, and they are certainly in the best form of the 3. They also have a game in hand over Salt Lake and 2 over Orange County. They will play RGV in the Valley on Wednesday night in an attempt to pull level at the top. Orange County, for their part, finished 10th last year and missed USL Cup. They will gladly take any spot in the top 8, but a top 3 finish is certainly within reach. Well done to them for a big turnaround this season. They play OKC Energy on Saturday night. It's all about keeping pace and keeping your place for Sacramento and Portland Reserves in 4th and 5th. They could very well play each other in round 1. Kansas City Reserves, Reno 1868, and San Antonio round out the USL Cup spots. St. Louis FC falls to 9th after their loss to Portland Reserves. OKC Energy and Fresno are still in the hunt. They're followed by Colorado Springs, LA Reserves, Las Vegas Lights, RGV, Seattle Reserves, and Tulsa. I don't know what this says about the league, but last place Tulsa held their own against Colorado Rapids on Saturday night in Memphis. They scored 2 legit goals and gave the MLS side all they wanted. Speaking of Saturday night in Memphis, what a night. We're releasing a companion podcast to this podcast just to talk about Saturday night. Be looking for it in the 901 Soccer Podcast streaming line. It'll be somewhere in there. It'll probably be called like 901 Day Special or something along those lines. We'll tell you everything that happened. It was incredible. Also, if you have not seen the crest, go to memphis901fc.com and check out that beautiful, beautiful piece of artwork. Weird, wild stuff at the end of the match between Charleston Battery and Red Bull Reserves left Charleston looking for answers. With the score tied 4-4, Charleston looked like they had scored in the final minute, and the ref even looked like he pointed to midfield to indicate a goal. Then he waved off the goal. Maybe there was a foul, maybe there wasn't. But the game ended in a draw, and Charleston wants an explanation. An explanation for confusing refereeing is not too much to ask, so good luck to Charleston in their quest to get someone to explain why they earned 1 point instead of 3. This will certainly add fuel to the fire that pro referees have a long way to go when it comes to consistent quality refereeing in the league. We mentioned Louisville and Cincinnati as the marquee matchup of the week, but two other matches are also must-see. North Carolina FC is trying to sneak into that final USL Cup spot, and they happen to be playing the team who currently occupies that spot. A big win for North Carolina would likewise be damaging to Nashville. Check out that match at 4 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. Well, Phoenix Rising went ballistic on San Antonio a couple of weeks ago, scoring 4 late goals to blitzkrieg their Texas-based visitors. But Saturday's match will be in the Lone Star State, and San Antonio will try to ride the home field advantage to victory. They have won their last 2 matches since the 4-0 beatdown, including a 2-1 victory over current top seed Salt Lake Reserves. Check out Phoenix Rising and San Antonio FC Saturday night at 7:30 Memphis time. Well, that about wraps it up for this edition of USL Quick Strike. Enjoy your soccer, everybody.